Good evening, everyone. We'd like to call our meeting to order at this time. Today is June 1st, 2026, and we are live here at City Hall in the Honorable Mary Jo Hayward Council Chamber, here located here at City Hall here in Camilla, Georgia. Once again, it's good to see each and every one of you all. But before we get started, I would like to, first of all, give some acknowledgement to a couple of individuals tonight before we go in and approving of our agenda. I would like to, first of all, take this opportunity to congratulate our newly elected Councilwoman Pam Ison. On behalf of this City Council, we welcome you and we look forward to collaborating and working together as we continue to move our city forward. Your willingness to serve and the citizens here in this great community is appreciated, and we are excited about the contribution that you are going to bring to this council. And also, council members, I would like for you to just join me and give her a warm welcome as we welcome her to our team. Would you like to say anything before we get started?
First of all, I'd like to thank God. Without Him, none of this would be possible. I also like to thank the citizens of this city for trusting me to represent this district and the city of Camilla. To Mayor Owens, in his absence, I look forward to his return and his guidance and willingness to push this city forward. To the council members, it is my hope that we can unite and make sound, dignified decisions for the citizens of this great city. And last but certainly not least, I would like to say thanks to the pioneer whom this chamber is named after, the Honorable Mary Jo Hayward. It is her push for calling me to encourage me on that day that there was a seat for me at the table. And here I am at the table. And it's my duty and responsibility to these citizens of Camilla to help push this great city forward. And I thank them diligently for entrusting that in me. And council, thank you for the welcome. Mayor Pro Tem, thank you. And I'm just looking forward and excited to serve the city in the city. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And also, it gives me a great pleasure to now introduce and a warm welcome to our Mrs. Deidre Powell as our new city manager. And we are excited to have her to join our team as well to help us to take the city into the near future. Also, Mrs. Powell is not a stranger to this area here. She has strong ties to this community and to the county. But she do understand and value people and the opportunity that makes Camilla such a beautiful place to be. Camilla, Council, please let's give Mrs. Powell a warm welcome as she look forward to working with her and to make this city great. So it's on you now, Ms. Powell.
Thank you. I won't stand, but I will say that I am not a stranger to this community. I grew up, every summer was spent here in Mitchell County. My aunt is in the audience. She's all the way back, Juanita Williams. My cousin is here, and two of my cousin's children are here. We have a lot of ties to this area. If they're Marcuses or Williams, they're related in some way, shape, form, fashion. Didn't realize that we were actually at the same church at the same time. The St. Mary is, where we were always at. If they're Hodges, they're related as well. So again, I'm just elated. Never thought in a million years that I would be back here sitting in this type of seat. It's just amazing how God operates. So thank you all for trusting me to help lead the city into the direction that you all wish to see.
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Powell. Now, as we move along on our agenda tonight, first of all, we're going to get an approval of our agenda. But before we do that, I would like to amend our agenda and add our CFO report as the number one discussion item, along with the $300,000 transfer credit from the municipal trust to the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion also to recommend that number 8, when we go in executive session to talk about real estate.
All right, it has been,
Are you going to add to your motion, or
no. Is this going with my motion, or you creating a new motion?
Either way you want to.
Okay, well, what we can do, we'll just add all of this into one motion.
Yeah, let's just do one motion.
Okay, the amended motion to this agenda will be our CFO report, be the first discussion item, along with the $300,000 transfer credit from the municipal trust. And our final item is, will be number 9, which will be executive session for real estate.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
So, just make sure I'm clear. CFO report, what CFO report have we received, what y'all talking about? Is this something she's going to represent?
Yeah, she's supposed to be presenting, yes.
There's a $300 transfer credit.
She will elaborate on that. That's me.
She said. I second.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make it.
You make it.
Either way you want to do it, second it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was already second.
Yes.
Second?
Okay, it has been motion and second. Any other discussion?
So, let me just back up here. Let's make sure we're clear. And that we understand. How often are we gonna play with people? Here we are talking about a transfer, $300 we had transfer. I think most of you recall, we just hit back. 1 million. At this point, I think we had us laughing at us like we a serious joke. because the money was already here. But when we have incompetent or unwillingness to do what is needed for the city, and stop playing with the people of this city. This is what happens. We're sitting here asking for a transfer from me at $300,000. We had a whole meeting. But the majority of this council decided that with an outgoing council member that we don't know, no longer need it. We send it back. By way of the URA. Money sent back. So when are we gonna stop playing these games? I look forward to hearing this discussion.
No other discussion. All those in favor, show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. All right, that motion has passed. Thank you, council. Now it brings us up to our next item on the agenda is the speaker appearance. And we have, if you come up, please identify your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes. Do we have any speaker appearance tonight?
What was the vote? 42.
My name is Steve Sykes. I'm from Thomasville, Georgia. Mr. Mayor, City Council, the City Manager. I had a pleasure of meeting her when she was City Manager in Americus a couple years ago, and she had a chance to work with her on the issue, and it was resolved very satisfactorily, so thank you for that. I have a prepared statement, and I'd like to leave a copy of my notes with the mayor when I'm done. When I announced my intent to resign February 15th, 2022, Mayor Kellen Owens already knew at that time there was no reason to investigate my role in the Tyson security agreement. He knew that there would be no GBI investigation because no crime was ever committed. He simply was overruled by the former city council, and he just never got over it. Once he had enough city council votes in January of 22, he decided to terminate the agreement with Tyson, previously approved by the former council. But unfortunately, it didn't stop there. Upset that I resigned in February and offered to work until April of 2022, while the city searched for a new city manager, Mayor Owens started a personal attack against me in public. He reprimanded me over a security agreement that had been approved by the city council. He authored and performed an investigation performed only by himself, and he cast a tie-breaking vote to send his investigation to the GBI, knowing they would never review it and that he would never send it. Mayor Owens stated under oath, recorded deposition oath, 2 key facts. Number 1, he knew that I didn't commit any criminal act, and he knew there would be no GBI investigation. Yet, he pretended like there was a reason to send the investigation to the GBI. So on June the 6th of 2022, by a split vote on a resolution to send the report to the GBI, Mayor Kellen Owens cast a tie-breaking vote. Yet the report was never sent because he knew it would not be investigated. He just wanted the appearance of a crime. He crafted his statements carefully to make the press believe I was being investigated for stealing $56,000. And the suspended Mayor Kellen Owens never corrected the false report in the media. I believe this council has a responsibility to right that wrong. All I ask for is an exoneration letter refuting those slanderous and libelous claims that I was ever investigated by the GBI for committing any crime, because I never was. And my legal expenses being reimbursed for having to defend such frivolous claims. Thank you for allowing me to make those comments, and if I could just hand that down. And Mr. Mayor, I have left an exoneration letter that I would like for the city council to discuss with legal and consider.
Thank you, Mr. Sykes. At this time, there will be no comments or anything on this because as I hear, it's still ongoing in legal things, so we'll allow the attorneys to take care of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
have a good evening.
All right. Okay, is there any other speaker appearance at this time? Any other speaker appearance? Okay. Hearing none, we're going to go ahead and go into our discussion items for tonight. And our first discussion item is going to be from Mrs. Lisa, our CFO.
Hi, Council and Mayor Barley. I didn't prepare a formal report for tonight. I was initially just trying to add the item to the agenda for discussion, and I can prepare a formal report for next Monday night. I've been here for 3 years, and we've had a credit on our MEAG power bill from the municipal trust to help us afford the bill every month. And we have been paying that bill in full for quite a few months, and the bill's really high, we're just unable to afford it. But I will put it in numbers so you can see, that we can't afford it without a credit, restarting our credit.
Okay, the credit, where is this credit coming from once again?
From the municipal trust onto our MEAG power bill, because the bill is now over $1 million a month. And we don't have the revenues to continue to pay that without assistance from the trust.
So in other words, we're not generating enough of revenue to pay our bill?
Correct. That's correct. I mean, it's in the months we're receiving property taxes and some franchise fees, we're able to cover, maybe like 5 months from the year, we can cover that bill, but during the summer months, it becomes critical to restart that credit and help us to be able to pay that bill.
How long have this been going? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm
You
trying
might-
to get it added into the May agenda, but I guess I missed the deadline. So here we are in June, so I'm trying to add it to the June agenda, and I can prepare some numbers for next Monday so that we can look at the numbers and then hopefully vote to restart that credit.
Okay, we just got back a rebate,
Yeah, and that's-
$499,000.
That was deposited in the trust, though, not to the city's operating account.
So when you say asking for a credit, where do we want that credit to come from?
So it comes from the municipal trust, which is where we have most of our reserves, and it's credited to the MEAG power bill. So it doesn't actually come into the city's account, it just credits the bill.
So there were 2 accounts,
Yes,
and one, that they each had quite a bit of money in it when I started. And now, one of them only has 92,000, and the other with this recent deposit of the credit is like 3.5.
right. I think we have 3.5 total.
All right, so how much of that do you need every month to pay the bill?
300,000 is what I'm recommending for the next 5 months.
So in 10 months, we'll have nothing.
No, I'm recommending it for the next 5 months.
Oh, for 5 months, okay.
During summer months, the bill is extremely high. We're not bringing in the revenues to really cover that, along with our other expenses.
Lisa, everything that they draft in this account doesn't mean they draft the account for what they need to do. Is it set amount or is it,
Well, I think council approves that amount and then it just credits the bill. So, that's how it works.
you mean it had to be the total amount, 'cause we don't do it every month.
Well, we haven't been doing it for the last 4 or 5 months, but we do. I'm just recommending that we restart it in the summer months.
Well, I would add to that summer months and as needed.
As needed.
That's right, I'll put that on there.
Well, at a certain point, it's going on.
Well, that's where, Lisa would need to be making us aware of where we are and how many months we got left and so forth and so on.
And I'll put that
Otherwise-
together, for you for Monday night. But yes, along with, I can detail it out so you can see what we take in, what goes out, and why we need help with that bill. I'll make it very clear.
So.
I have a few other questions
Okay.
related to the audit. After we finish. Okay. We just had some things, that were brought up when we met before, and I wanted to ask about some of the findings. On page 73, bank reconciliations in a timely manner, we noted that we have added additional staff, and I wanted to see if that was up to date at this point.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the new auditors to come back in, and so we're getting those deadlines met.
It was also recommended on this same page to have, increased, management oversight, which was gonna also help with another staff member there. On the next page, there were several, areas where accounting and reconciliation was not reviewed and it required significant adjustments. Also noted there was that additional staff would help that, but in the areas of accrued income, depreciation, debt balances, transfers, and special revenues and general funds. Lastly was GFA proceeds. Are we up to date in reconciliation on those before this next audit
It will be
comes in?
before they come in, yes.
Okay, and then finally, the recommendation on number 5, bond proceeds, representative of funded projects. I know we're right dead in the middle of the gym and it looks so good. And, just wanted to make sure that that funding was all on track as well.
It is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I appreciate it.
Okay. It's Shelley. This what I'm calling Shelley. Be careful of the things you hear in your ears now. Because it was just a couple months to begin this year. Lisa, you came before this council. And you said that this council had no problem paying these bills.
We didn't.
We have absolutely no problem.
At that point in time, we were collecting property taxes and didn't have problems paying them. But we do now. In my history here of 3 years, we've always had a credit on that bill from the trust to help us pay the bill all year long, not just part of the year. But now I'm just requesting it for the next 5 months.
And so let's be very clear when we talk about these accounts and reserve, you heard the word reserve. Let's be clear. That's already been talked about more than one time before. We don't have a reserve here in the city of Camilla. What we have is 2 accounts. There is a restricted account and a restricted account. The restricted account is solely for generation power. It is supposed to be used. What you keep referring to that we're gonna be absolutely broke, MCT and all this other stuff you're saying. That is reserved for restricted power only. It can only be used for power. Now, there is another account called unrestricted. It's flexible. What does the word flexible mean? It can be used any way we need to use it. It is not restricted. So if there's a problem that we have paying our bills, we can definitely go here. But even more, people, they just sent back $1 million. Just sent it back. And I have been in, Lisa, not this, I've been in your office and asked you about this as well. No problem. We have absolutely no problems. But people, please understand, these are headlines. These are headlines. These are acts of headlines in the city of Camilla, because surely we are not broke. And surely we have enough to pay our bills. But what is being asked is to now, don't make us look foolish because we sent $1 million back. And now we need it. Because of leadership, a lack of leadership and vision. That is the reason why. And I leave it to your imagination what is trying to be set up here by some of this council. What narrative is trying to be painted here? Great job. You took care of the city while you was in control, Ms. Ford. But continue to try to paint these narratives. It won't last forever. And as I stated before, the people you will have to answer to. Because we just went here, when the audit was here, the audit told us we had no problem in our audit. And Lisa confirmed they had no problem paying our bill. But here tonight, we got a problem all of a sudden, and it's been going on. But this is our first time hearing about it, at least my first time, let me say that, because there's a lot of things that I have not been privileged to since I've been on this, back in this council. But we're just not hearing about it.
Mr. Pollard, Mr. Valenti, at the meeting that you're speaking of, he advised the city to seek professional guidance to change the direction of the losses in our electric department.
Man,
He sat right there.
not one time did that man say that we have a problem. Not one time. Those are your words and your opinion.
You think seeking professional
Those
guidance
are your words
change
and
the
your opinion. And just because you're saying seek,
Yeah, it's-
and just because you're saying seek, it doesn't mean that something was wrong, ma'am. As you do know, he's no longer with us either, right?
And that's his choice, not ours.
Thank you. That's it. I'm no longer gonna be here. For many years, I've been doing this for you all. That's it. But trying to make something out of something that is not,
So the
it's just not
flexible
there.
account that you're speaking of, that flexible, do you know how much money is in it right now?
We have over 4 million in it.
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Show it to me.
$92,000. Okay, I will show you an email I received today, I'll send you a
Yeah,
copy of it.
please show it to me.
But the exact balances as of today were,
And please remember, where you get that from?
from MEAG,
From me,
our MEAG representative, yes.
We
The,
we gotta see it
generation
right here.
account has 93,205. The main account, 3,347,365. And that went up because it wasn't $1 million, it was a $550,000 settlement was put in there. But again, it's recommended that a city keep 6 months of bills on reserve, or you don't want to call it reserve, but in the bank in case of an emergency. It looks like we maybe have 2. In here, according to what the bills cost over the summer. But that's the balances on those 2 accounts, 92,000 and 3.5 million are in those 2 accounts right now.
So that is roughly 4 million.
No, that's
If
roughly
you say 3 and 9,
92,000.
92,000 plus 3 point what?
5.
3.5 million. Round it off, ma'am.
Right.
$4 million.
Not quite, but.
So round it off, ma'am. It's simple. I'm telling you, stop playing games with the people. Stop trying to paint these narratives that we're wrong because we're not. That's what this account is for. Me and only look at it as one account. Me and about all of it as one. The city of Camilla breaks it down in a non-restricted and a restricted. And I can tell you, as I told you before, it used to be all restricted. But predates me and you, but one of my council members here, on my right, he can tell you, they saw a need that we needed some flexibility. And so at that time, we also have a former council member sitting out there in the audience, also decided that now we need that flexibility, let's make this 2 accounts. So that's how we pay a non-restricted account and a flexible account. But ma'am, I will say to you, and to some of the other council around this board, as we all know in this city of Camilla, there's been a sudden stop and change in the direction. and a slowdown in the way this city was thriving and moving. But I don't have to leave it to your imagination because you already know the reason. Because we had true leadership. It was leading this city to a place where some is getting. But when I think about business and how we're going to grow this, ma'am, as I told you before, that is our job. We are legislators. That is our job to make sure that we get some businesses here. Operationally, if there need to be some operational changes, that is our job. It's not to raise taxes, because if surely we can't pay our bill, that means that operationally we're spending too much. But when you don't have no business to grow this city, and there ain't nothing happening, what you expect? But you keep coming to this table time after time talking about what we can't do. And what we're going to look back and we're going to take away. But yet we come to this table talking about what we can do to better the city of Camilla, what business are we going to bring to the city of Camilla. We haven't heard those things. People, this is serious business around this table. And believe me, these are headlines. This stuff ain't serious. But we're going to take care of the people of the city of Camilla. We're going to take care of Camilla. But anything operational that don't happen in this budget, ma'am, with the exception of Power and Councilwoman Ison, who approved it? Y'all approved it. So get your facts together before coming to this table and making sure y'all put on a show for the people that is. I yield there.
All right, Lisa, thank you.
Thanks, and I'll have something formal for you next Monday.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now we're going to move right along on our agenda for tonight, and we're going to have our next discussion item is going to be power cost adjustment, PCA rate reduction. Councilwoman Ison, we'll let you read into that.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And you all just heard the narrative that we need to move money. I think it was all just a plot, just to head off my headline for tonight. And so earlier in the year, maybe it was last year, majority of this council voted to increase the PCA. People, we had just received over almost $500,000 refund. That's not a dividend, that's not little side money. That was a refund. That means somebody paid too much money, so we got money back. So with this city being about 37-38% poverty level, that increase hurt a lot of people, particularly our older people. Majority of those on fixed income. You may look at it and say, oh, it's just $3 or $4, but that $3 or $4 could be the reason somebody don't have their medicine, can't get their medicine because they can't afford it. We on property level, property taxes, they have other taxes they have to pay. But yet we still sit here and say we raised the rate because we was going broke. No. The citizens doing their part of paying this bill, paying these high utility bills. We are doing our part as council members because we live in the city of Camilla also. So that determines one of two things. Either the budget is too expansive, we need to make budget cuts in other areas, or we're just not leaving accounts and budget as it is, we're not leaving it properly. There's no leadership, legislative to lead it properly. So, people, the bottom line is this. The economy has grown, I think I got estimate probably about 8% over the last 2 years. That tells me, we were once on the right track. Most people are not looking for a handout. I think a lot of people sit up on these diets and think everybody looking for a handout. People are not looking for a handout. Some people just looking for a hand up. So why we put the undue by things that we can control, which is also that. Take today to add this action for our next meeting and hope that you all will join me in considering lowering this rate back to our December 2025 rates. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on that particular item there?
So as it was stated, airlines. And when we talk about the PCA, it's serious business. The PCA represents money. No matter how great or how small it is, it's money. And that represents households. As Councilwoman just stated, what is I'm be able to take care of my electric bill? I'll be able to take care of my medicine bill, my food, my kids. My kids out of school now. But we still get rebates back here in the city of Camilla, and that's from utilities. And again, the headline tonight is that we broke. And some don't want to do the math, they can't do the math. And we still got 4 million, which by the MCT, we supposed to be depleted already. We ain't got enough. That's what you heard a couple months ago. We gonna be broke. But yet we still, right now, going forward and going strong. Haven't missed a beat yet, according to Lisa. The bill being paid. So it's not a matter of can we, it's a matter of will. Because sure, we can do it. But you definitely have my support, Councilwoman. But I look forward to seeing how many more will be ready to say that we can see that. We can agree with that. Look forward to seeing that. So I support this item, and I think the actions that this be added to the agenda for next week as an action item. Yeah, with that.
I want to ask a question to our CFO, and listening to just what we heard thus far. You did make a statement, you see the bill. With us reducing the PCA rate, do you think that it will be a problem for us to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And why would you think it would be a problem, ma'am?
Well, I think, according to our last study, that was done on utility rates, the rates are, we need to raise the rates, not lower the rates.
So you think,
No, well, we can't really argue with people that are doing all the statistics on the rates.
and you can get over with when we got businesses that are still coming online, right? There's a lot of variables that have to take place when we talk about PCA. But tenths of a penny, and I don't mean discredit the 10 of a penny, because when you add those 10 of a pennies up throughout the year, it do add up. But to say that we cannot, the bills still being paid, businesses still being added. We just added dominoes to the grid. That wasn't on the grids.
Businesses were also subtracted from the grid too.
And what business are those?
We don't have Walgreens, there's a number, I mean, I can make a list of that for you too.
Yeah, but see, we can make a list of all those things all of a sudden, but man, we've been sitting here for some years now, as you recall, 3 years.
This is not new news, this is old news.
I can understand how it's not new news when you sit there and ask family and just told them they was doing right, the bill being paid.
We were.
So what is it?
We were collecting property taxes at the time, so we were able to cover it.
And we continue to collect property taxes and other taxes, and we could continue to grow our grid, and that's to do this council, is to grow the grid. So we can't say what is not gonna happen, but as much as we can talk about what we have lost, let's think about, as Councilwoman just said, that 3.9, 39% poverty rate. So I guess we discredit these people that can't eat. These children want to be at hungry, so we just discredit them. We give us 2 dams about them. Long as we can say that we got some money that we can store back, because sure, we don't need it right now, but it's money that we can store back, because this council don't want to jump behind and do the job that they was elected to do, and that is to grow this grid. That is the job of this council. And again, I say to you, if anything needs to be cut, it needs to be operational. We don't go to the people that is already starving and say, we need more from you. How can you give me more if you don't have it in your pocket? Make that make sense. If we're asking people that do not already struggling to give more. So I'm confused at what you believe that right now that we're in the. Lisa, I really think that you've been doing a great job.
Well, let's just look at the report that I prepared next week and hopefully it will make more sense.
But see, we don't even have.
No, because I just simply asked to add to the agenda today and I didn't. I thought you would vote next week, not tonight. So.
I believe with this series of business around here. And we have to be about series of business and not headlines. Oh, we still have. We still paying the bills. And if you would have sent that $1 million back, would you be standing here asking us for money today? You would have had the cushion that you needed to pay the bill, whatever you need to do. That is correct. Am I correct?
Well, I thought that million was designated to the URA though.
And
The
you
million
are,
that we sent back, it was not for the city.
I get you. I get it. Because when we talk about the URA, you have to think about how the URA was established. And see, the URA is how it was established. Very much everything in the city got going on operational. It can do it. The only thing the URA cannot do is pay for employees. But I think Mayor Pro Tem can even speak to that, the URA and Luke can speak to the URA. Already been doing some operational things. They were doing some great operational things. But I think the majority of this council that did not know what in the heck they were doing, and a council member that was going out, they got together and said, hey, you think you heard some other people, but here y'all looking like fools, come back asking for the $1 million, just sit back. And now, he knew what the URA was established for, but he did not depart his spot either. And let you sit $1 million back. And you bring up a great point. You knew that the money was sitting back, but you didn't come before this council. drive this thing here.
Okay, at this time, do we have, 3 council members that would like to see the, PCA adjustment, reduction rate? All right,
As I thought. Ain't no support for it.
okay, and also we're gonna go back to, the report for the, 300,000, month for the municipal trust for 5 months. Do we have 3, council members like to see that on the agenda item for next week? All right. All right, thank you. Now we're gonna move right along on our agenda for tonight, and we're going to look at the Alltech trading confirmation from January to May 2027. And this is customarily that we normally look at this and have this as an agenda item for next week for the Municipal Gas Authority, and also for the municipal gas trade there that we normally typically do every month, every other month. And I hope that you got a chance to look at your agenda to, not agenda, but a package to see those items there. Can I get 3 council members like to see this as an action item for next week? All right, thank you, council. Also, our MEAC voting delegates at our annual election, MEAC board. We did get this memo from MEAC, and we would like to, first of all, get new voting delegates. And as was already there as of last year, was Mayor Owens, and the alternate would be was Oscar Maples. So at this time, I'm going to open it up to the floor to see who this council would like to have to be the voting delegate for our MEAC.
Does that need to be in the form of a motion?
Well, it's discussion item right
Discussion
now.
first.
So
Okay, well,
we'll do the discussion, and we could select whoever you want to select, and then we'll move it to next week as an action item to vote on.
I recommend Dwayne Hurley be the voting delegate.
Who we have as our alternate.
Mr. Palmer?
All right, any discussion on those 2 delegates, the delegates and the alternate? Okay. You get 3 council members to have this on the agenda for action item to vote on next week. All right. All right, thank you, council. Also, we have a resolution, Law Enforcement Foundation, and we hope that each one of you all got a chance to look at the resolution. And this was the foundation that our police department was doing as a nonprofit. And we on next week, I would like to go ahead and move forward on this action. Hope that everyone got a chance to look at the resolution. I get 3 council members to any discussion of it.
So I had a chance to look at the resolution. Serious concerns. There was concern whether I'll ask for clarification before we give the support, because some of this stuff I just haven't heard of, I haven't seen it in front of me. Now, quite honestly, I don't think this council ever received it either. The information that I think is very relevant to our support of this resolution. And for clarification, whether any city funds will be spent, whether staffing time will be spent during work hours, whether city vehicles, computers, email system, or facilities will be used, whether this foundation will reverse any of the city costs. But it's supposed to be a private entity other than the city. And this organization is nonprofit. I would ask, has the nonprofit already been incorporated? Has the IRS application been filed? Would any city employees have authority over the foundation funds? How would the donors be screened to prevent conflicts? What city resources are anticipated to be used? What is the estimated first year budget? What is the foundation needs rather than fundraising through existing city channels? What are the bylaws? We haven't received any of that. But yet we see them talking about passing a resolution in support of it. Make it make sense to me.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I just wanted to address some of the questions that Council Member Pollard had. So just to go back to the conversation that we had last month, a lot of what you're saying is relevant, and I think there should be answers to all of those questions. However, before we get to the stage where we're establishing bylaws, appointing members, and the foundation itself taking action, the city wanted to ensure that the foundation was just legally set up correctly. So when we were here last time, the conversation was that before we brought all of the meat and potatoes, everything you just explained, back to the city council, the foundation itself would acquire its 501c3 designation, and we would kind of essentially set the foundation. And then the police department was gonna come back to you and let you know who they selected as board members, who would be acting, what the bylaws look like, what the setup of the organization will look like. So again, everything you said is valid and important. We're just not at that step right now. Right now, the finance department has stressed that they want to get the support of the council before they move forward with filing any federal forms and kind of putting their, signatures and kind of approval, or maybe having the approval from Mayor Pro Tem, or the chief, to move those forms forward. So before any city staff take any action for that, they wanted to ensure that the council supported it. And if there was a need for city staff to, provide any assistance, the council allowed that to happen. And I think it would be similar to like the URA, or maybe even if the city kind of were establishing any of the authorities, staff kind of play an initial role in establishing that. So again, I think everything you asked for is valid. I don't think the city's at that stage yet, or the foundation is at that stage yet to provide that for you.
So Madam Attorney, I respectfully disagree, but I respect your opinion, but I respectfully disagree. And this resolution also outlines that this is an independent entity under the non-profit. It doesn't subject to council approval. It also, as much as the nonprofit that have to be established, cannot be an employee of the city of Camilla. There's the organization, CEO of the organization is nonprofit. So in essence, ma'am, again, the fact that we're not here and it's supposed to be so independent, again, the use for the city and the CFO, I think you point to the CFO about the finances, what does the city of Camilla has to do with it? If it's supposed to be something that is totally separate, independent. And a person that is none of an employee of the city of Camilla. And that's whether we about the police department or whatever. But again, we don't have none of this information in front of us, and this is a resolution of support that outlines that this is an entity that we don't know for sure is the truth. But we're gonna put our signature conditions on our letter of support from our mayor and our city. I respectfully disagree that that's how that should go. Now, if you want to say contingent upon, yeah, I agree with that. But doing something before we actually have paperwork and all these things in front of us to make sound decisions that we'll actually be responsible for? Go right ahead if that's what y'all desire to do, but I know my answer will be no.
And I'll add that, I definitely encourage the city to enter into it, in a governmental agreement, or MOU of some sort with the, foundation, just like, again, the city has it with URA, its development authority, housing authority, any authority, to kind of parse out and delineate those terms of what city staff can do and what they cannot do going forward. This, again, is just in its very initial stages, it's starting. So I think once we get over the initial founding kind of checklist and tasks of the foundation, I think the city, we need to come back and have an IGA in place and have really parsed out about what city staff can do and how they can assist if that's necessary.
So it sounds like a contract to me.
Yeah, it needs to be, there needs to be an agreement between the two entities, yes.
So it won't be, it'll be an independent organization.
Yeah.
It's not the police department.
Kind of like the URA and the DA, same thing.
I don't feel the difference. But I'll leave that to the people. Not that I don't support the police department, because I truly do. When it's right, it's right. But this process is not right. We have not been given this information that is needed to make sound decisions around this table. Now, you can rush and push through if you want to, that's on you all. But my answer still stands, no.
All right, thank you for that, and thank you also for that, Madam Attorney. With this resolution and some of the points that were brought out through Councilman Paula and also through Madam Attorney, with this resolution, could we have that in contingent of all of those other things that needs to be solved?
Yeah, and I believe, I'm not looking at it right now, I think it actually says that.
Well, it does state that,
Continue upon these things happening.
that
Because
the mayor pro tem, police chief, attorney, and other officials, as are appropriate, are authorized to assist with organization.
to assist, and this supposed to be an independent. I don't see why the city should be assisting. That means that there are city funds being used to someone that does not have a contract with the city of Glenville. And here we are talking about a contract, but we don't even know the outlines of this contract, don't even know what this entity is about, this organization is about, what they're doing, how it's established, no bylaws, none of that stuff. But we're gonna enter into a contract with them.
Well, we haven't entered into.
I said, but we're looking to this, to consider that. Any way you try to put it. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about visionary and really being, to have the will to do what's right. And still playing games with people.
Madam Attorney, could we kind of clean that up and kind of change some of the verbiage there for this resolution for next week?
Yeah, and it can just so I can have clarity,
Yes.
we just want to ensure that that this resolution only supports the establishment of the organization, and it does. But then to ensure, you want to add maybe that after the founding, that the
Yes,
foundation will come back before the council,
yes, for the approval.
to present
Present to the.
any documentation, bylaws, IGA, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was going to be the plan moving forward, so I'll ensure that that language is in the resolution.
To approve what? Because it's supposed to be an independent organization. So what are we approving? This is a contract that has not been, so we're asking to approve a contract that has not been before us yet? And we asking for that next week, because I'm gonna be honest to be very good, I asked was it already incorporated, have a 501c3 or whatever delegation, have it already been filed with all this, and I don't think nobody around this council, around this table, know the answer.
And I'm thinking.
Because that lies within the police department and the said person, and the last month, it was hinted, quote, but would not say whether or not they knew who the nonprofit was gonna be. So I'm asking right now, who is the nonprofit? Please tell me who is the nonprofit.
The Law Enforcement Foundation.
Law Enforcement Foundation, that doesn't tell me anything. Now, who is the CEO?
Well, they're. going
Who
to
is the
decide that once they
CEO?
get
Who is Dave? Who is Dave?
Would Chief Hendricks.
Chief Hendrick is an employee of the city of Camilla. He cannot profile his nonprofit organizations.
I believe he had a lieutenant of him.
And she's an employee of the city of Camilla. So my point is, again, I asked you a question last week and it was like, oh no, we don't know anything. But now you know so much.
No, I don't.
I mean, you just said it.
I just know what the resolution says.
The resolution doesn't say Lieutenant Lawson, who you talking about?
No, I'm speaking of the meeting that you were talking about when that thing was presented.
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the meeting just happened, the real council meeting last month. Not the work session, but do you recall the council meeting last month? And I asked the question, who is this nonprofit organization?
And when
It was headed by you and another one, that there may be this nonprofit organization already. But I asked the question, who is the person? And I'm asking tonight, who is the CEO of this nonprofit organization?
we don't know yet.
You sure?
Yes.
So again, we don't know no questions. And I'm sure it's not gonna be ready for Monday night meeting. Unless you know something I don't know. And I wouldn't doubt that now. Because you good at what you do. I wouldn't doubt that y'all don't already know. But
Madam Attorney, what do you think we should do with this right now?
I respectfully, I think that is the decision of the legislature body.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, let me get some legal.
Legally, I shall told you.
Madam Attorney,
So it's to my understanding that, staff, they're working on establishing this foundation, meaning they have to start with getting the 501c3. And they do not feel comfortable without the support of the council to tell them to, like you said, and instead of them spending their resources that belong to the city, they want the council support and approval to move forward to work on establishing that. And once that's established, then I think you can kind of work on your CEO and your board of trustees and your executive committees, and you can work on all of that. But right now, staff, they do not want to move unless the council provides approval on whether they can spend city time and money to do this.
Now, here's the problem, Madam Attorney.
Yeah.
Before you can establish a nonprofit, there's some things that already be in place. And you gotta tell the state, who is your board? That's got to be already established. So the fact that they don't already have that now, we still sit in the dead spot. That's have not been done. In order to get your 501c3 or nonprofit organization, you gotta have a board. And that board must be established and told to the state, this is my board. So thank you for telling us that no board have not already been established. People get serious.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend that this be move to the action item next week after the city attorney has time to make appropriate adjustments to it.
The city attorney make appropriate adjustment. What does that look like?
Do we have three
When the city
council
attorney is
members?
not bringing this, it's not the city attorney bringing this. And it's supposed to be an entity, an independent entity. What does the city attorney have anything to do with this nonprofit? Make that make sense.
My motion stands.
Do we have three council members who would like to see that as an action
What
item
as an action item?
for at the attorney view, what needs to be
What
done?
is the attorney reviewing? Make that make sense. Tell me what is
A
he asking?
resolution of support.
No, I'm asking Mayor Pro Tem, what is he asking? If you gonna bring it to the table, asking the city.
A resolution of support,
What are you
a
asking for?
resolution of support to help them to move forward with this nonprofit.
And so, what resolution are you talking about?
This resolution.
Because this resolution said this is an independent entity. And we already established this is not. It's an entity that has not even been established yet.
This is upon the approval and the corrections that needs to be done through the
You know, I
attorney.
go right ahead on down that line if y'all so desire to do so. But I have written to you, and Madam Attorney have written to you, that this nonprofit is non-existent. They do not have a board. But this is the people y'all elected around y'all board to carry out your city. How you deal with that? Do that to me.
Okay, now we're gonna move right along on our agenda. We have our proclamation.
Was there?
Yeah, they had three. It was three.
Oh, okay.
We done with that.
You gave us consent? Cause I didn't hear the consent. I heard you just moved on.
They raised their hand.
I didn't see, could you ask the question again? Cause I don't think it was recorded. I don't see. You got it? Okay, thank you.
Proclamation, for Juneteenth Day in Camilla. How many council, could I get three council members to, move this as an action item and we'll approve that next week? Proclamation for Juneteenth. Okay, thank you, council. Also, change order number one, stormwater rehabilitation project, at the baseball field. Luke, I think you have some info on that.
Yeah, so Wednesday I was going, me and the engineer went to the baseball fields. We were looking over another project, sidewalk project and some ADA renovations over there. And while we were over there, we noticed a collapse in the storm pipe. We currently have ongoing project over there for storm pipe rehab with CIP. The change order would be to do the same project that's in the same location, and put a cure in place for the collapse in storm pipe that's under the building. It just so happens that it's in the same area and that we have a project going on. It's gonna be cheaper if we do a change order and add this onto the sidewalk and ADA project that we're currently looking at, which uncover this problem. So I don't have a change order right now because we discovered it like Wednesday afternoon. We were hoping to get one on time. I just talked to him 30 minutes before the meeting and we don't have one yet. So I'm asking to put this on the agenda for the council meeting and without present the change order.
I have to say that I'm in support, and, look, thank you for doing what you're doing. You have been doing an excellent job. You're constant on it. I see you out in the community and talk about a boss. A boss that ain't scared to get his hand in some dirt. Ain't scared to do what he asks his people to do. I see you out there. I see the work. The work, it speaks for itself. Continue to do what you're doing. But I will add to this. the help of the operation that Luke had. That the majority of this council and an outgoing council member decides to send money back. It would happen. And this is what I mean by there is something already on the item for tonight, operational. So this is operational. We already had help for it. Don't get up and think they're playing games right here and doing your spin for the local paper. Because that's what's gonna get you all caught up mixed up. Because people are going to be hungry for real.
Okay, do we have 3 council members like to, see this, action item,
Certainly.
on the agenda for next week? All right, thank you, council. Now we're gonna move to our next outline, agenda item is, discussion item rather, is, semi-truck parking option. Councilman Pollard will let you lead off on that.
Sure. And as a council, as I pretty much such hours before this meeting, and I do apologize for saying it hours before the meeting. It is never my intention not to be transparent. And sometimes we often adjust to these amendments on our agenda. And I would say that this is because of trying to likely the transparency or decrease the participation of citizens. But nevertheless, let's talk about the semi-trucking, because we know there's been an ongoing issue or concern dealing around semi-trucking and its parking within the city of Louisville. As I offered last month meeting, a solution. This is nothing more than I promise you that I will bring back some options. I hope that you all have had the opportunity to look over those options. And my recommendation would have been option number 3, and that is vehicle larger than a regular maintained pickup, a panel truck of 7,500 pounds or greater, gross vehicle weight capacity, tractor trailer combination. Trailer shall not be placed, parked, or stored in residential zone district except on lots 5 acres or greater, and shall be located in the rear of the yard. Vehicles so allowed shall not exceed 1 in number per lot. Trucks used or intended for use for commercial purposes less than 7,500 pounds gross vehicle weight capacity shall be limited to no more than 1 per lot, and it shall be located in the rear yard behind the principal building. So after reviewing the current ordinance and considering the concern expressed by residents and stakeholders, and I respect the community, I can respect the community's option number 3. I believe option 3 provides a balanced approach by maintaining the city's ability to regulate larger commercial vehicles in residential neighborhoods, while also for individual city council, this creates a clear ordinance reducing administrative burdens and promotes consistent enforcement. The purpose of being continues to protect residential neighborhoods from excessive commercial vehicle parking, limited large vehicles to property of 5 acres or more, and requires placement in the rear yard, limit commercial vehicles under 7,500 pounds to 1 per lot, and requires rear yard parking, eliminate the need for council approval of identifying tractor parking requests, allowing for more straightforward administrative enforcement. Again, this is a discussion and hope to have your support in this matter, a resolution to an ongoing concern that was found out of control. I yield back. It's not any discussion.
Well, with option number 3, the homeowner has to have at least 5 acres or more to be able to park their vehicle, right? And this is what they're saying, right?
In parts. But there is more to it.
Council, do you all have any other discussion on this?
Mr. Mayor, I think, Mayor Pro Tem, we should, go to the executive session to discuss real estate. I've got some options as far as areas that, potential parking before this is, any action is, carried forward on this.
Any other discussion?
Would it be, donate property, free property? City owned property?
We'll go into executive session.
I'll ask you a question.
That's what she's saying, yeah, that's what he's saying. Go into executive session, well, yeah. All right,
So it's not city owned building.
That'll be discussed in the meeting.
okay,
So no support? I'm just offering, a solution, but it's not.
okay, could I get a, motion, we have a good motion for us to go into executive session, could I get a second?
Where the motion is?
He made a motion to go into executive session.
I remember we was talking about, an item that I was talking about, he just discussed in
It
detail.
pertains your item, he put it into his
So,
motion.
when we amended the agenda, I think that would add to the item and agenda for number 8, for executive session. So, call the executive session now?
Yeah, so
I
that's.
just want to make sure you follow the agenda.
Yeah, we are.
So, we have it.
Motion, second.
No more discussion, all those in favor for executive session, show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. All right, that motion has been carried. And at this time, council, citizens, we're going to go into executive session to discuss real estate, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, while they're in executive session, I'm not gonna shut the live stream down so it gets live. Don't be aware of that. Yes. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Good.
say, when they look and see the stunt. Somebody went quickly and told the police that she got a stunt, she got a tape in here. And, the girl called in the room, they let them know it's called a taser, but it's not a taser. It's a like, flashlight that goes off like a taser. That's a pretty big car. It's a flashlight. When a light on, it goes, you never know what light it goes. On a flashlight, she has a flashlight.
She said she was unlocking the car. I said, all right.
Oh, yeah, I keep my lock in the car. I said, that ain't nothing to, I mean, that has nothing to do.
When you don't have a license to carry, you
Well, I have a license to carry mine. But they just show you how close the people sit in this and that stuff that you say. That's why the board is messed up like it is now, because of people like that. It's just why we are the way we are now. Can't get along. I always got to take something to the right people. Just to stay here. Just stay here behind. All this stuff should fall soon. In the name of Jesus. Did they say? Just mom take care of the business that we be taking care of for the city of Camilla, for the citizens. And they probably taking over that, because they get money back in. The old people don't really have. Everybody know. You have to suffer for the stuff that the people do, just because they can.
Thank you, citizen, for your patience. And at this time, I'd like to get a motion to reconvene our regular session.
Motion.
All right, it has been motion and second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, show of hands. All those opposed, same sign. All right, that motion has been carried. Once again, in the executive session, there was a discussion about real estate. And at this time, I'm going to allow Councilman Palmer, because he called for the executive session, so that he can share with the public of a solution for our semi truck parking.
Thank you, Mayor. City, actually, we have discovered through research, owns a 12.33 acre tract off of trucks on Burson Drive, US 19, and Campbell Drive. And part of it, not all of it, but part of it is desirable for truck parking. Part of it is wet or could be wet during rainy seasons, and it is a wooded track, so it does need some clearing, but there would be no purchases involved because the city already owns this track. So that's my recommendation, that the city use what they have and set up, with the city attorney's help, a procedure and policies to police this and make it work in a proper manner.
And what I'm going to recommend, and thank you for looking out and finding out about that property. But now what I'm going to do is this right here. I'm going to piggyback on Councilman Paulo's item. In the meantime, with us getting this property, and we know there's going to have to be some work done on it. So in the meantime, I would like for this council to amend our parking ordinance and deal with item number 3 that was noted there that Councilman Paulo addressed. And just know for those who have that 5 acre, they are good. But for those who do not, we'll have to utilize that property that you just talked about.
I'd like to comment on that, this is not a good idea to do this because it's contrary to the planning and zoning and all the different zones in this town, to what's already, established and on the books. This is contrary to that. So that means you are going in and modifying someone's zoning, planning that's already been zoned for them, and then you come in here with this on top of it. I don't think that's a Madam Attorney question also, but I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's bad.
And I think most citizens here in this town don't have 5 acres around their house that stays in the residential areas. Most of them don't.
Not me.
Not many, very few. And those are the ones that it will apply to for those who possess that type of land around their house.
Now, if they're zoning as an industrial, if they happen to be zoned industrial, they can park trucks there and live there.
And according to this ordinance here, it states that that they have to be parked in the rear of the yard. So it wouldn't be where they have to be in the front of the yard. So you've got some stipulations there as well. So that would just be my
And I just want to,
recommendation.
I'm sorry. no,
Go ahead,
I
you're fine.
apologize. Again, I still haven't had a chance to, review this fully, but what's the changes or what's the differences between this, Mr. Pollard, Councilman Pollard, and section 3.11 in the code? What is it,
Everything is stated it's clearly stated. But I just want to back up and say that contrary to popular belief, it is the duty of the city council to legislate and make any amendments we need to make, not the duty of the city attorney. That's our job. We call it amendments. Now, if you decide you don't want to do that, then ask the citizen why they elected you. But that is your job. It is not the job of the city attorney to do this for you. And you know this, so you've been here 20 plus years. Again, people, it's about the will to do what is right. It is not that hard. There is a solution. And again, tonight, we hear the same old dump out of stuff again. Racial stuff again. I don't want to do it. That is what we're hearing again tonight. Let's see how much support we're gonna have in doing what is right. And that belongs to us. Not the city manager, not the city attorney, not the city clerk. It is their job to carry out what this body says. They cannot make those changes unless this body says so. The people who were elected around this board. I'm not doing the business of the people. Not one person, but what's best for this city? What's best for the citizens of this city? And not a select group. We ought to get sick and tired of being sick and tired of the same old drama. And allowing one person to dictate how you gonna move. How do you deal with that?
Ms. Middleton? Okay, so I do see, because again, this section is located in 3.1, so I do see the word tractor is the difference between what's presented here, what's already in the ordinance.
Our ordinance refer to a trailer as a tractor.
Okay, and so I was gonna say, if you
A semi, I mean.
If you plan to make an amendment to the zoning ordinance, you do have to,
Yeah.
do the public hearings and follow kind of like zoning procedure laws, that's,
That was my point.
that would be important, yeah. So it won't be on as soon as, next week, but if your desire to go through it, yeah, you just.
I'm saying, let's go through planning and zoning to start with it.
Have them do analysis and talk about it.
Gonna have what, 2 public hearings, right?
If it doesn't pass on the first time, a majority, not majority, because, vote all, then we have to go to the next. But if it passes on the first time, all council, which
That's the majority, right?
majority, let's say majority, almost have to be. But if one person say no, then we have to go to.
Go back.
We
Yeah.
have to go to.
So, it'll go to planning commission and then,
Come back.
then it'll come back to council.
I would also recommend that the normal process is the regional commission is sent them to recommend, they do the recommendation to the planning and zoning board. So really you got to start with them, then go to the planning and zoning, and then, to the council.
Well, we can- We'll take the necessary steps that we need to
That's
take.
right now, I guess we'll continue what we already have, going.
Well, in the meantime, the parking is available at Evergreen Truck Farm, Evergreen Turf Farm for $6 a night. On Highway 37, across from Hayes LTI. They actually, according to their website, have 6 spots available. So,
That's right there around the curve, right? Like going into the curve. Okay. On the
Mr.
left.
White mentioned that earlier when we first started discussing
Yes,
this.
I think there's another one in
Yeah.
town, but.
But if you were to Google, where can I park my semi in Camilla, Georgia?
It pops up.
It pops up.
It's national too, it's not this.
It's, but they all, I mean, the website says, cameras, security, 24/7 access. You can look it online.
And that's good, I mean, you also understand that you the taxpayers of the city of community, right?
Well, they were gonna have to pay for a permit, what we were proposing.
They don't know they have to.
But we were proposing to issue 3 permits, $25, what we discussed originally.
And we're talking about yearly, so you multiply 6 times 12, I don't think that is the same as what we proposed. Just want to throw that out there.
Okay, thank you. I just, like I said, today, somebody had to, there's an option.
Okay. All right, is there any other discussion on that? Okay, so, with that, we'll just move forward with that, with your proposal, go through the challenge, and go from there.
Are we making this an action item for Monday night to be voted on, or we actually, because if we're talking about tonight, we have to meet the agenda for tonight, to make this an action item.
It cannot be an action item for the
No.
next agenda. It has to go through, planning commission
Planning
first.
commission first, so
So
you would, go ahead.
It may not come back. It might be a week, it may be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever they need. If it works like all the other planning commissions. So when they meet, they'll make a decision, then once they make their decision, that information should be forwarded back to the mayor
Well, I'm not-
council.
not to jump, I'm not certain that that is the process, that we need the planning commission to do that.
Okay.
So let's make sure that because we have a zoning department here in the city of Louisville.
Okay.
So we don't know, we just heard it come out, in which we already know that that's what.
It's required, per your, zoning ordinance. Yeah, so in Georgia, they have in Georgia, the zoning procedures law that every municipality and county has to abide by. It's essentially a process to allow citizens the opportunity to speak on zoning matters. So there's no way, we can't fast track this without breaking that law.
And so we can kind of go ahead and hit them that we need this done.
Yeah, so the city manager
We
can
don't
take
sit back and
this.
just wait on the meeting. We can be proactive and get this all done. Thank you.
You know, city manager, you can take care of that, right? All righty. All right, this now, brings us down to the end of our, work session. We're gonna go down to, others, and at this time, I normally, go to each council member to see what they have. Councilman Green, do you have anything?
I do have one thing. It has been brought to my attention that Kibo's Restaurant is very interested and has been for some time in leasing the Source Restaurant. And I know that we have 2 members of the URA that are in support of this, and I would certainly like to see that action move forward in the near future.
Have you already had a meeting?
I was present at the URA meeting when they came.
Ask Cam, when was the meeting?
The last URA meeting has been about a year ago.
Oh, a year ago. And so you know that there is 2 that is actually ready.
Well, I asked them
I
myself.
was just asking, just trying to get some information.
I did, I asked.
And so they haven't met in a year either, right? Don't you?
No, but when a business wants to, we're on the hook for $663,000.
Let's
The
make sure
city
we
commitment
correct
is
that. Let's make sure
for
we
that
correct that.
restaurant.
We are not on no hook.
Okay, we're not broke, no, we're not.
We ain't on
But
no
the
hook.
city invested $663,000 in that restaurant. And it sat there since February, was a year, empty.
Have you asked why? Do you know the managing partner, the managing entity of the Scores restaurant in which you're talking?
I'm aware, and I would
Who
love to
is
see
the,
them.
who is that entity?
Hey,
And you just say they haven't met in a year?
correct.
Do you know why?
No, that's.
But you're interested in knowing why this building is still sitting here.
That's right.
And you haven't had the thought that they asking why the URA is not meeting?
Well, if somebody, the last meeting they were at, it was told to these people that they would look into getting a lease.
You got that in, you can pull that up in minutes, in writing?
I was sitting right there. I saw-
And verbatim, you heard those words.
Yeah, we're gonna look into getting a lease together.
And so we're looking to get a lease together.
But that is my comment. Thank you, Mr. Burley.
I'm
I
glad-
appreciate that. That is my comment.
Okay, all right.
And if you have any questions for me, I'll be outside after the meeting.
Thank you.
All right, Councilwoman Heisen, you have anything?
I just like to add, We got to start doing better for the people. We can always bring a problem, but we can never bring a solution. We got to do better for the citizens of, our citizens of Camilla. We got to do better now. They deserve better.
Amen.
You can always bring a problem, but we can't bring a solution. Once you bring a solution, then we bring another problem. The citizens deserve better.
All right, thank you. Councilman Collins, you have anything?
I just would like to say, I'm looking forward to Monday's meeting, we can see and dig down into some of the finances. See what's really going on.
All right, Councilman Hall.
Conversation being held, they so ready. But nevertheless, it is very unfortunate. What you did not hear tonight. And this power has have absolutely nothing to do with you. Absolutely not. But according to the local paper, there is a contract with the city manager. Establishing how much, anytime. The duration of that contract. But I'm gonna ask one simple question. Where is the minutes?
Mr. Pollard, don't get into
Where
executive
is the
session.
minutes?
Don't get into executive session, sir.
I'm not
It's
into
personnel,
executive session.
personnel.
I'm not into executive session, but are you telling me that the minutes might be in executive session? Is that what you're telling me?
And you wasn't there. You wasn't at the
So I'm
last
gonna ask the
executive session.
question, how did the local newspaper state a contract? Now, how much the contract is, and no minutes have been provided to the public? Nor myself.
Executive session,
And
sir.
so, sir, I hear you say that. I hear you say that. But see, there's a problem with that. And I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Give me 1 minute. Section code 6.31, contracting procedures. No contract with the city shall be binded on the city unless it is made or authorized by the city council, and such approval is entered into the city council journal or proceedings pursuant to section code 2.21. Section code 2.21, rules or procedures. The city council shall adopt its rules or procedures in order of business consistent with the provision of this charter, and shall provide for keeping a journal of its proceedings, which shall be a public record. And if you don't know what journal means, that means minutes. So again, I ask you, where is the minutes? Because our charter states that this must, and this is not a questionable, this is not negotiable, it must take place. Where is the minutes? I'm waiting. This should be a public record. Per our charter. But the fact that we're sitting here talking, and we ain't even brought it up, but the newspaper have already put it, so I'm gonna ask you, who told the newspaper, if this happened in executive session, who told the newspaper what happened in executive session? Nobody knows. Surely not me, because I don't even know that about the contract.
Okay, when the matter was decided, was in executive session.
So
And-
when did it get to, and who gave it to the public?
Now, I don't know where that.
So now,
It's
so-
public, but
okay,
I
so-
do know that it was instructed and given to HR after our meeting.
So you came out of the executive session and told the people that? Or you told the people after the meeting that there was no action taken? Because I recall that there was no action taken.
Well, there was no action taken in hiring. Oh, wait.
We're not gonna go
Keep
into,
on.
we're not gonna go into that's personnel in the executive session. That is executive session and personnel, so we're not going to discuss that.
Again, as I told
An
you,
open record,
This-
open public meeting.
this have been flawed from the beginning. Had nothing to do with Ms. Powell. And my effort to not support this had absolutely nothing to do with Ms. Powell as a person. Because I don't know Ms. Powell. But more of the policy. How it was done. The process. And as I stated last month, you will answer to the people. Because we're still waiting on the minutes. This is our charter. The charter states that. Read the charter. And somehow or another, this business got leaked to the public, to the newspaper. According to the newspaper. Unless the newspaper lying, this is a contract. So I would say that, again, no disrespect to Ms. Powell, but Ms. Powell is here unauthorized. Carrying out the duties of the business, of the city. And that have not been a contract approved. How? I don't know. I didn't see this information, because I wasn't even there. So I don't know. But I was, again, referring back to our charter. Chicago 6.1, contract and procedures. Pursuant to, also, it stated 2.21. The city council shall adopt its rules of procedure in order of business, consistent with this provision or this charter, and shall provide for keeping a journal. And if you don't know what a journal is, that means of its proceedings, which shall be a public record. That means you can't do this behind closed doors. You can do what you want, but you got to come out and take a vote. I really have an example. If you want me to show, I can show you an example of what that look like. How do we take the action? Because we just did it. When we hired our last Dennis Ross. It was done. Executed perfectly. So, I'll leave you with that. This is our charter.
All right, Ms. Palmer, you have anything you want to say?
I think it's been ample enough said tonight, so I do not have anything.
Okay. All right, city manager, you have anything you want to say tonight?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, Luke, anything? Okay. All right, Madam Attorney? Nothing? Okay, thank you. All right, at this time, I'd like to motion to adjourn our meeting. All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, right there. So if you have really like good questions, or you need to- I just look for